So here's our panel of people for our speech today. Cool. All right. So today's topic is going to be greenhouse gases, and we're going to tell you guys a little bit about what they are, where they came from, how they came about, and how they're bad for the environment, and what we can do as everyday people to reduce our impact on the environment. So first, we're going to talk about what greenhouse gases are. Greenhouse gases make up, obviously, a good chunk of our atmosphere, and according to the EPA in 2017, carbon dioxide was 82% of that, methane was 10%, nitrous oxide was 6%. The rest is just a mixture of other things. Carbon dioxide, as most everybody knows, is produced from pollution from cars, power plants, excuse me, using the program, and even just us breathing. The problem is we can't stop breathing, but there are other things that we can do to help impact the environment. These gases were discovered in 1896 by a Swedish professor named Savant. He inferred and theorized that the planet was surrounded by gases, and as we created more of these gases, that as the sunlight entered, it was making it difficult for to leave. That was increasing the overall temperature of the planet, from the oceans to the land to everything that we're in contact with. According to the EPA, once again, they come from a number of different sources. The green bar is on the very bottom, is just kind of a flat line 0, and the negative impact is below that. The blue is the biggest one, is energy. Where we get our energy from our light bulbs to producing any kind of energy that we would need for everyday living, is our biggest offender of that. Agriculture falls in a very small portion in orange. Industrial processes take a little bit as well. Waste. So the decomposition of waste that we put into landfills also accounts to that as well as solvents. Solvents are things like paint thinners, and things of that along those lines. They make an impact on our overall environment. The green on the very bottom is actually negative, which is better. That's going to be land use, things like doing foresting and what have you to increase the amount of forest we have, not logging, foresting. There's the difference in those two items, okay? The biggest things that humans do that we have a direct impact on are fossil fuels, so things like driving cars, using lawnmowers, chainsaws, things of that nature. That being the case, they also come from natural events. Natural events such as volcanic eruptions. Volcanic eruptions put a ton of CO2 emissions into the air. We are not the only offenders here. The problem is we can control it, nature can't. It is a process. Pollution is a big one. You ever go to a city, even us here in Denver, you look out of the mountains and you see smog over the Denver area, or if you go to Los Angeles and you see the smog, it's created by cars. This is part of the problem that we run into. Because of this, ocean temperatures are rising. Ocean temperatures are at a point where the amount of dissolved carbon dioxide in it is so high, we're going to have trouble getting back to where we were. According to scientists around the world, they're estimating that if we don't reduce our carbon emissions by almost 28% over the next 15 years, we'll never be able to get back to a point of sustainability. As of right now, we are unsustainable. So, the question is, what can we do about it? I've made a list of 9 super simple things that we can do in order to help reduce our carbon footprint, if not eliminate a good chunk of it altogether. The list is pretty straightforward. Change your light bulbs. We've all heard the talk about CFL bulbs, like fluorescent bulbs or LED bulbs. If you change 6 light bulbs out, one of those light bulbs runs 6 watts instead of 60 watts. That's a 10% amount of energy usage. That makes a huge difference. Buying Energy Star items. If you ever look and you see the little blue tag on your appliances that say Energy Star on them. Heating and cooling your home smartly. It's okay to be a little uncomfortable in your home. Get your energy company to come out and take a look at your home. They'll do a cost analysis for you. Sealing and insulating your home properly. Do that after you called in your company. The 3 R's. We've heard this since we were probably little kids. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Get reusable water bottles and fill them up. Reuse them. Recycle what you can. Let someone else have a chance to use a product that you've already used. Using water efficiency, getting low flow shower heads, maybe watering your lawn twice a week instead of 3 times a week. Using compost. If you compost at home and then spread that back into your lawn, instead of having it go to a landfill where it's creating even more problems, you can have it stay in your own home and do something good with it as well. Buy, quote, green power. You can go online and buy solar powers for your home. You can go to google.com and search for solar. They'll tell you how much sun hits the roof of your house, and you can purchase solar panels and tells you where exactly to place them on your home. You can buy little wind turbines for your home as well. They don't power a ton, but if you were to change 10 light bulbs over, they're usually a 100-watt system. You could probably run most of the light bulbs in your house at any given point in time with a simple solar panel setup that costs about $100. Encouraging others. Word of mouth is the best way to fix problems. There's a couple more things on this list that I'd like to talk about that people don't think about. And it's buying local items. So say you go to the farmer's market and you buy lettuce from your farmer. Lettuce in Colorado, we are a landlocked state. Most of our lettuce comes from Arizona or California. The distance to transport that lettuce is greater than it would be to have your local farmer come and get it. So now you're reducing your emissions by buying something that didn't take nearly as much gas to transport to you. You can reduce the amount of air travel time for fresh produce and things that come from even farther away. Plus you're helping your local economy. Helping the local economy is never a bad thing. Yes, you might pay a little bit more, but think of a better term. You're having one for yourself, one for that person, one for the environment. There are electric cars that come out nowadays that have 0 emissions, minus what comes from the power plant. But that overall net gain, most of the cars nowadays are within 2 years are a net win for the environment, which is also a good thing. Hopefully you guys have learned something a little bit more and you're persuaded that greenhouse gases are not the best thing for our environment, and hopefully we can find a way to hopefully reverse the process and damages that we've already done. And I want to make sure that everyone's still paying attention. There we go. Thanks.